both of them with reverse sweeps as well. JDG and V5, they were 2-0 up to start their journey to what they thought would be an easy run into that upper bracket final, but no, they were denied. JDG and V5, after the reverse sweep, they now land themselves down here where the loser of this series is gone. And V5, they're the first seed of the regular season. A very big deal considering that V5 had only ever made playoffs once before in their competitive career. Remember, folks, that last split, V5 was 0-16. And that was the second time they've done that. No team in the LPL has ever done that. And for JDG, 2021 was a horrible year.
Horrible, atrocious.
And remember, 2020 summer, they made it. They made it through. They got to Worlds,
yeah.
And we expected big things.
They were
and
spring
flopped.
champions that year,
and they were runners-up in the finals for summer. JDG have a very big name in recent years, and they're finally back near the top. V5 have never been near the top, but they don't want to stop now. There is so much pride on the line between these two teams. There is so much they're fighting for. And it might be only towards the lower bracket that you see them playing here today, but everything counts to make sure they get up towards that top 3 and get a chance at finals. Yet again for JDG, but for the first time for V5. Lyric, there's been a lot of draft talk. We're here on our screen. We've been looking at drafts for an exceptionally long period of time.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you a little bit more about what we see here, since we are frozen on the screen as we finally get through, as I say it. Let's come back to it. We're already into game. That was quick.
Already a minute and 40
that
seconds
was
of the
very
game.
Quick.
Okay, looks like no shenanigans level 1, right? Everyone
That's
still
good.
has their summoner spells up. You wouldn't really expect too much, I think, to come out from either side. And again, I feel like one critical thing we hit on for JDG is that they do have strong, like, early isolated lanes.
Yep.
Like Victor, incredibly strong in the 1v1 because of that Q, the shield you get, and just the damage there. 369, of course, can do the bully out in the range versus melee matchup. Malphite not really having any threat till he hits that level 6 mark. Then it is a lot more about coming with jungle, and we see how bot lane's going right now. So I expect much more attention towards the top side of the map, especially for JDG.
Yep.
Not only because of the matchup, but also just been their bread and butter. I think Kanavi, as the split has gone on, has kind of leaned into more of playing with 369 and making sure he has a good situation. For V5, though, it's been a lot more about mid. And this draft sets up for it beautifully. Karsa can come mid, look for those early ganks, and just try to burn summoners.
I mean, again, you know, Rookie and Karsa have really been the, I feel like, linchpins to this team, right? You know, Victory 5 have relied on Rookie. Something we didn't really get a chance to talk about in draft and at the start of the game. But Rookie has been so good this split, and it's great to see. But walk me through what Karsa's doing now, Lyric.
Yeah, looks like he's going for a level 3 gank. I hope in Missing should at least have to burn
Flash
summoners.
Center Blade, good little interrupt there from Missing, but Karsa's right on top of him. Sky Splitter, a bear slap down, Missing, running for his life, but with a heal. The forward ignite, it's Victory 5, who changed the script a little bit.
Yeah, V5 finding this opportunity. They knew their bottom lane would get pushed in early on. The Jinx versus the Ezreal matchup. We see 3 camps into the bot gank, and JDG just not reading it, not having any early vision there to spot it out either. And just really nice play coming out from V5. Again, V5 just have been so aggressive all split. They love to look for these early plays, just snowball a lead home.
It's so funny. We were just talking about how strong the mid 2v2 is, right? That's where they play towards. Karsa puts his eggs in the Rookie basket. A nice little change of pace here as we look through the replay.
Yeah, we're going to see it, right? Again, just no vision. We didn't get to see where their level 1 wards ended up going. It looks like a very free gank from Karsa. PB got going in, sets up to where Karsa has the time Missing, now having to burn Flash, and able to get the kill off. Ignite going down in the end, heal used as well. JDG do still have like their offensive summoners if they can look to set something up themselves. We've already highlighted Kanavi going to be looking to play a lot more around the top side, which is what he's doing right now.
Already invading through on the Krugs here. Getting himself a bit of a CS lead in the jungle. Worth noting that this will push him up past 30. Karsa got the bottom side gank, gets an assist, now has to go towards his bottom side jungle camp. So you're right. Top side is the play here, while for now we just watch mid laners trading back and forth. Lyric, let's bring it back a step once again here. Coming into the game, you talked about V5's proactivity. I don't even get to ask you a question, dude, because they're on top of your gal. Look at this roam. PP God's level 3 and Karsa at 4. Sky Splitter again, and it secures the kill. Rookie flashes over the wall while Kanavi wants to chase up. But Karsa is his big bro. Not in time enough to take him towards dinner. Big Brothers set the table, but they do not cook the meal. Victory 5 running away, and Kanavi, after transforming, will make sure it is a trade-off for JDG.
Really nice proactivity coming out from V5. A lot of this coming from that earlier play around bot. You know, gives a window where V5 get their wave in. PB God now can roam up to mid. And, I mean, V5 just have so much setup, right? You have a Volley Bear, such a great early ganker. You have CC in mid. You have CC coming out from your support as well. JDG with a decent answer, gave Missing time to come back. And especially the fact that Rookie's the one that dies. Now Kanavi has mobility, so it's not very easy for JDG to turn. as we're going to get to see the setup here. Again, having that window come from bot, the chain landing so crucial. But Rookie also getting locked up feels like why the return kill is able to come out from Kanavi. So really nice W usage coming out from Yagao to set this one up. And again, here, since LeBlanc's dead, you know you can't chase him down after this. He has mobility. They know missing's here, and both teams get away with just one kill.
And Kanavi's core of it. Let's come back because, folks, in Best of 5 series, what casters do is we like to give you a little bit of story point towards the start because it is going to be a long ride. At least we're hoping it's going to be the longest. Kanavi is what I would say is the linchpin for JDG. We're just talking about V5 and what makes them tick. For Kanavi to get an early lead like this, and especially when he's on the Viego here, Lyric, it feels like JDG is set up for success here and a nice early game to bridge back what was beautiful setup from Carson minutes ago.
Especially because you do have a ton of damage, you know, again, coming out in the later stages of the game to set up for those resets to be able to come through.
Yep.
I think the annoying thing is they're very mobile, and V5's composition isn't very squishy, so it actually might be decently hard to be able to find some of those resets.
Good point.
But, I mean, you have the damager set it up, and if he starts accelerating, you start getting a lead on that volley bear, can turn around very quickly. Another thing about JDG we haven't really hit on is both teams playing around bot now is really Dragons, right? JDG have loved those, getting Plio to set up for them. Looks like maybe going to start getting some vision now to set up for the Dragon play.
Yeah, it looks like what happened with mid as well also influences that. Yagao getting the push out and moving down himself. And as it starts out here, Castle was just spotted out, so no response at the top side, Lyric. No vision set up for now. It is actually good warding here from JDG from 369, controlling the top side. So it's nice as we get a bit of a contest, but I'm not sure how far this is going to go. PPGod moving in, though, and they say, screw it, let's go in. Photic gets the kill, and V5 are continuing the play with Kanavi taking the damage, but Caster gives over a reset. It's a double kill, and Lyric, the Dragon was gone, but V5 said we love blood.
I'm really surprised V5 actually ended up going for it. Like, I understand the thought process, right? They think, hey, again, we have the Volley Bear, we have the LeBlanc, we have these early setup champions, but JDG had position on Drake. JDG also have great, like, zoning tools and great champions if you're running into them. Victor and Jinx absolutely love that. And now JDG able just to default back to lanes and keep getting more gold under their belts.
You talked to me a lot about this draft where V5 want to be proactive early. Proactive in a wrong way, I think is fair saying, in front of the Dragon.
Yeah, and, you know, I feel like some of the critical things here, Rookie not here at the start, not able to get a lot of this damage off, tries to get in range just to take down Missing, doesn't feel like it means too much. Because, again, the critical members, Victor and Jinx, still alive. The Viego, who's already starting to snowball, was there. And you see the use come out from the W, from the Chompers. It's not easy for V5 to just run in.
It's an incredible start here. Yagao 2-1 as well, by the way. So there's Victor with a Dark Seal that's stacking up. Yagao doing really well in the laning phase. And, you know, it keeps going back to the point where Rookie Casa playing through the mid lane, playing through the strength of V5, which is their mid laner. In this first game, this is not the ramping start you want to see, especially with the drop.
No, I mean, especially with the fact that you haven't even burned Yagao's flash yet. But I do think V5 can now start looking towards...
That's nice. That's real nice. Is the flash available? But Rich turns it around. Rock solid until 369 gets the range. Caster's moving into position. He's playing the do-si-do, though. Look at this. Caster's going right. 369 left. We swap around. 369 still hanging around. Two-shot barrage, though. Oh, my God. Photic says, stop walking. It's my kill to take.
And like you said, 369 doing a nice job. I don't even think they envisioned or that was like a read of Volley Bear being there. It's just trying to focus him out. I was just about to hit on that V5 should start looking top because Malphite, past level 6 point, you can set up for those ganks. I feel like the amount Rich took, the amount of damage he took before that Volley Bear was able to make it was a bit unfortunate, but now Herald's setup coming through. No ultimate on either support feels crucial.
Yeah, but V5 moving in blindly, and they're separated. Caster caught out the pixel rush. Kanavi ults in, though. PPGod buying the space as he gets rooted up. He might have sacrificed his life as that slows him down, but Hope is not sending out a rocket because it's just not available. JDG have the health bar advantage, Lyric, and they're going to go back to the Herald.
I'm really surprised we didn't see like a team maybe like V5 since JDG had already moved up first. Again, try to, you know, have PPGod collect some experience in mid, make his way towards that ultimate. You know, that has been something we've been seeing quite consistently for when these early Herald plays come through. They don't opt into it. JDG having the setup to force them out feels like the defining factor. And V5 not having the Malphite ultimate, I think, is another thing kind of dissuading them from going on. So JDG so far, I think doing a nice job of just using like their isolated lane power to be able to come out ahead. They're using that to get on objectives first and force V5 in, and now looking for Rich once again.
Again, you already mentioned no Malphite ultimate, another 20 seconds before it's up. Does JDG want to exploit this? But move here from PPGod to help out, but there's 4 members of JDG. This looks hard. Rich getting slowed down, but not forgotten in the gravity field, while turret plating now fully available. They had the Herald too if they want to drop, but JDG committing, and Lyric this early game looking exceptional.
And I feel like the most crucial thing here for V5 is they're not answering anywhere. You look at the mini-map right now, it looks like maybe Karsa just handed off blue buff to Rookie, both of them hovering around in the jungle. No one's pushing out bot, no one's pushing out mid. So ultimately, this was just not only a herald to JDG, but then just free plates. They still have the herald if they want to re-look top, which I think they would with how closely they've whittled down this turret. And for V5, I mean, 500 gold down, not too big, but when we said they've drafted these early proactive tools, I think it is pretty disheartening.
I mean, the only one really with a lead here in this game is Photic, but look towards mid. Rookie hasn't been able to get the game started. We look at jungle. Karsa has been down, and honestly, you know, caught out a couple of times here against Kanavi. And of course, on the top side, 369 with a massive lead. So, feeling pretty good here if you're a JDG fan opening up the series. Remember, this is an elimination series. But more importantly, it's a series for pride because for JDG, this was such a good split of retribution. Finally getting back into the upper echelon. V5 getting away from the 0-16 of 2021 summer. Not only did they do that in 2020 spring, I believe it was, but doing it a second time is absolutely incredible. So there's a lot on the line here, and as we kind of look towards mid, seeing if Rookie and Carson get something started. There's Stormbringer, Sky Splitter, an absolute bear slapper. Karsa gets a shutdown, caught out as Yagao. Gold back over to V5's jungler.
And I feel like that's huge, right? We've been talking about this for the first 10 minutes of the game, about playing around mid, playing around this immobile mage. When you have the setup coming from the block, when you have a very easy gank opportunity for the Volibear to look for. PP God!
There's depth charge coming in from below. Hope now joins in, and not sure where PP God wants to go, but as Stretch Line doesn't connect the second time, it might not matter because Kanavi's here to add some damage. 2-0 and 2, and just like that, JDG find a pick off the back.
And pretty interesting that JDG opt to give up waves top to look for this play. Sets up for the Herald to be dropped in mid. Shouldn't be able to raise the turret off this. You already see members of V5 starting to hover over, even Riches in the river, just in case any shenanigans did break out.
Damage, Sky Splitter as well, cleanse away. Karsa comes in, Dredge Line for the re-engage, and Kanavi is right back in it. They thought he was gone, but Kanavi's always there when you need him.
Yeah, honestly, I think just, you know, a bit too far on the side of Victory 5. I think Rookie burning the cleanse is enough. Your Leona's in base, sure, Riches in river, but not close enough for you to be the ones over-aggressing like that. And Hysterics, it doesn't stop. We're going straight to another fight.
No wonder they have the most champion kills per minute in the league. I mean, this team always wants to fight. There's no smite available in front of the second dragon. But Rookie's in a brush with the full mana bar. Rich with the ulti as well. They're converging in at 1.4k. It's about the dragon. It's about Kanavi. He gets a smite down, but no reset available. Victory 5. The blood will continue as missing. Now running a low mana bar, but the ultimate close here from Photic. Won't be able to clean up any JDG members to turn around. Rich is left isolated. It looked good at the start, but then V5 are like, nah, we're done with the play.
And once again, I just feel like they're committing too much to these plays. They find the initial kills. Members low, just back off. Now for JDG, sure, you lose your jungler, but picking up your second dragon, one more, you're on soul point.
Yeah.
Yagao pushing up in the top lane, so you're going to lose more golden experience on the side of Victory 5. And again, everything just feels a little bit messy.
It's our first seeded team. It's our team that we expected to 3-0 top esports or 3-1 top esports with the way they opened the series in the top side bracket. This series is not starting out great as Rookie takes a massive chunk from 369 with the Eclipse. And it is worth mentioning that the gold's 1,000. Again, the conditions you talk about with the scaling from JDG is so important. 2 dragons as well puts a bit of a clock here onto V5, more crucially so. As turret plating's about to fall down, I think we're going to give a bit of praise to JDG because of how Kanavi's played the early game, the crucial member of this team.
Of course, right? Again, they've just been so great about getting the setup for these objectives. We're going to see here, actually going all the way back to the mid lane gank. Yagao, Immobile Mage cannot walk forward. They have no vision if you look at the top side of the mini-map. And Rookie, I think just overall connecting the chain was the critical thing here to set up for Karsa to be able to commit so heavily to find this kill. And in the Dragon, we were just praising JDG setup. I feel like this is one of the times to look at the mini-map. Jinx not being here, so important because Rich does have his ulti available. It makes it very easy for them to find the all-in onto the Viego. And then here, though, with 369 so strong, able to put down all of this damage, you have an Ezreal on the opposite side of the map that isn't able to follow up either. They just get too low, and Rich overcommits.
And the rest of E5 already backing away, so you're right. You know, Messi definitely feels like it as Dredge Line pulls that point, Everfrost on the top side, and look, the brothers are back together. Karsa and Rookie, they love each other, Lyric. I mean, seeing them together once again, always a good sign as Rookie picks up the kill.
It's just really nice to see summoners punished. I feel like that's something we don't see enough in the LPL, where you'll see these ganks go off. You won't see them followed up on.
Rich ulti. I've seen a lot of Malphite play in the past couple of days, and Rich not going to be following this one through, but you're right. Good timing there used again. Yagao bullied once more. Only about 30 seconds before his flash comes up.
Yeah, so we'll start being in a better position for these fights once again. And just kind of looking is, we haven't had a lot of time for Breathe the Group to really talk about anything.
Ever.
But JDG also, almost all mythics completed.
Yep.
Still waiting for Rich to get his, of course, going for that early Bramble Vest to return some of the damage 369 putting on, give him some early armor. Essence Reaver there for Photic, also very strong mid-game spike. So V5 right now should be feeling incredibly strong. I feel like a lot of it does rely on Rich, though. So V5, unless you have like Rookie set up somewhere first, you have some vision down, can look for a pick. I think you are kind of reliant on that Malphite ultimate to really make anything happen. And JDG are still just fine. You can just answer waves, push back in, get some of your vision line back down, probably neutral vision in river, and just wait for that next objective because you're setting yourself up for a decently early soul.
That's true. I mean, again, even losing a couple of dragons, it's a cloud soul, by the way, folks. So maybe less priority coming through, at least from JDG's angle. I was going to come back and talk to you a little bit more about that because it feels like V5 this game have always had to be the ones to pull the trigger, and now especially so. They've just picked up the Rift Herald. Rich still without his mythic, but he'll be getting close there. And I want to talk to you a little bit around how V5 can force JDG to come towards them when they are the team sitting pretty on a couple of dragons already.
I mean, I feel like the thing is V5 don't need to force them to come to them, right? Because since you have that Malphite ultimate, you're always able to try and find the engages you need. Would have been a lot nicer if V5, were able to be in an advantageous position because LeBlanc, I think, does so well if you're on objectives first, being able to punish the lack of vision the enemy has, pop out over terrain, find a chain, and just burst someone out. But they will still have tools. It's one of the nice things about champions like Malphite and Leona, right? Is you at least always have ways to try and force onto the enemy team, even if JDG do have this comp that just plays off so much range with the Victor, Jace, and the Jinx.
Okay, well, I'll be keeping an eye out then how they pull that trigger. For Rich especially, just tracking that mythic when he has been behind in the lane, when 369 has been bullying him, as Malphites often feel the sting of big pointy hammers, despite big rocks. 40 CS down here will be holding on the item torque. For now, folks, just notice that 25 seconds is when the next dragon spawns. JDG down the bottom side here, Lyric, getting vision advantage once again. V5 pulled very far back on the map. Rich now goes back, picks up what's close to looking like a locket here. But we're getting towards our first item at the very least, and we're going to start talking about the dragon.
Yeah, JDG once again having first move onto the objective. They rotate Yagao early on. They even have push in bot side, so V5 not having an obvious entry point. They are just going to brute force their way in with PP God and with Rich, who still isn't here. So JDG, very crucial. They do have all of their flashes up.
Okay, well, those summoners are going to come in handy, especially with the angle coming through here from Rookie. On the backside of 369, Rookie now in the pit. True Shot Barrage does damage to Kanavi, but the Shock Blast, what I'm looking out for is Rookie jumps on in, pulls him forward, but by himself is missing. Who's buying his own time? But Rich is ulting the backside with Solar Flare layered on top. May have just done it for V5. They've got their range in play, but Kanavi has a reset. He's in the middle of everyone. He's heartbreaking until he has a heart attack. JDG with the 2 versus 2, and all blood being spilled as Rookie jumps in again. Ignite on top of Hope 369. Over the wall! This guy taking on the team, but Photic won't let him. The Ezra with a Mystic shot. It's Photic time, baby!
And Photic absolutely popping off. Rookie right alongside him, protecting him from the Jace. They're going to easily be able to transition this into the Dragon, and this was exactly the kind of fight that V5 needed.
This is exactly the kind of fight I expected when JDG and V5 are bloodthirsty demons, man. There's a fountain, and they're just sipping from it while the rest of the crowd take pictures.
And we see here, again, the crucial thing, JDG not really able to find any of the early poke to start this one off. V5 do have some long-range tools to put some threat on them, force them to go in, which is what it feels like Missing does. Missing feels threat, so he goes in, but that was the crucial Malphite ultimate they needed to be able to set off for Photic and Rookie to be able to pop off. We know it's going to get very messy skirmish. We see Kanavi trying to find the resets. Ultimately comes into this 2v2, and it just ends up being a poke battle, right? And I feel like when it gets into these situations, as Jace, you're pretty gated by your cooldowns, to where Ezreal, right, you're just able to spam those Mystic shots non-stop, and it means in this war of attrition, V5 are doing pretty well, which is why 369 feeling like he needs to pull that trigger to find his way into those key carries for Victory 5.
I mean, look, Lyric, I just went to Scotland. I had a lot of haggis, right? And that was beautiful.
He's 5-0!
But that fight, even more enjoyable than haggis. So you heard it here first. 5-0 and 3. Further to your point, 2.5 items here on Photic. Look at Rookie as well. Void Staff picked up after the fight. Casa now with the bounty as well. That was beautiful for V5 considering that this early game hasn't been their story at all.
And this is where V5 are strongest, in my opinion, in the game, right? Because JDG Hope still not on that third item where he'd want to be, right? Something like an Infinity Edge, having the damage there, or even, you know, an LDR, considering you do have a big Malphite on the opposite side, wanting to burn down those tanks. V5's front line actually just rock solid overall.
Hey.
So for JDG, we're going to wait for that next item to come out before I think they really are in a place where you're feeling much better about this mid-game. So I expect V5 to be looking to force a lot of plays, especially playing around Rookie's LeBlanc, right? He's the one that has the setup with those chains to be able to find the ganks on two people like Yagao, which we've seen time and time again.
It's already some of this deep vision that they're putting down around Rookie up in this top side. So I love it. You mentioned that playing around Rookie is the key here. The man who is the strength of Victory 5. He's still pushing up towards the top side. Vision is being contested for now, but V5 just pacing themselves.
Oh, well, that's the great thing about this, is that since Vodic's on the Ezreal, I mean, he doesn't really need any babysitting to keep him safe, right? You always have the Arcane Shift there. Sure, you don't have a flash, so if JDG do, like, overcommit, maybe they can find him.
Yeah.
But I think V5 would need to pretty much be playing very egregiously, not have any vision down for him to go down. So it's like, cool, you give PBGOD a lot of breathing room to hover in the enemy jungle with Karsa. It'd be nice to see them try and make their way back in, get some of that deep vision down, and look for these picks. But JDG being a little bit sneaky.
Talk about it on the other side now. 369 has bid his time, but Rich with a flash ulti available. He knows getting ganked. He gets a knock up, runs out for his life. Kanavi wants movement speed. The route to come down, that's what needs to connect, and it does. Half HP and with no help, and Votic can't save him. It's Kanavi who helps pick up the kill, and JDG a bit of a pick here to get tempo back on their side.
And this feels really good because you also have mid lane pushed out, right? So it's very easy to connect either from mid to bot or bot to mid to make sure you can make these plays very fluid. JDG not going to over-aggress. Looks like they are just going to back off, you know, get some camps onto their AD carry and make their way towards those power spikes where they feel much more guaranteed about being able to win these fights. But just nice to see them play the cross map. They know they can't match V5 on that top side where they have the LeBlanc, where they have the volley bear, so they look for the opposite side. It pays off, mid lane turret and 1 kill. So JG still holding the gold lead, but game still very even. Feels like once again going to come down to that next dragon.
Well, or something cheeky up in this top side. Karsa running after Yagao, but remember now he has a Banshee's Veil as well. Gone very defensive here with the Victor build. I think worth mentioning when there's been so many tools to lock him down. I need to pause though because Rookie's at an angle. JDG are walking in this choke lyric, and as he goes to Hope in the backside, Rookie with the Everfrost, he gets him! Rookie, the best mid laner in the LPL, does it again.
And now it looks like V5, I wonder if they're going to start a Baron play. You see Votic throwing down damage on it right now. They do have good turn potential. Leona, Malphite ultimate back up, and the volley bear, but JDG not exactly falling for it just yet, but V5 are going to keep going.
Committing the teleport from Rookie, he returns. He's got a Dark Seal with 10 stacks and 2 items, and I'll be watching him as JDG try to get towards the Baron. It's going down so damn quick that they turn for the fight. PP Gold with the Zenith Blade. Rookie in the backside once again on top of Kanavi, burning him down as the bear jumps in as well. Golden for Karsa with a knock-up from Rich in the backside. It's gorgeous, but wait, Kanavi got Rookie. Kanavi got Rookie in the backside. Maybe not mattering anymore as Votic the one to live. Mystic shot after Mystic shot. He's in a gravity field though. Aggressive but not dead. Yagao and missing at a low health bar as PP Gold re-engages the range coming through. Dredgeline, Rocket! This game, it's only game 1, Lyric.
It was so close too. I feel like Votic playing that so well, not getting stunned up by the gravity field, but Yagao able to make it out, buys enough time for Hope's rocket. And this game still so back and forth. Dragon also up now. JDG can start making their way there. They have TP on the Victor, and they should be able to look for this objective.
In the words of someone who ain't here with us, yeehaw, Lyric, because this, man, this game delivering on the blood level we expected. Dragon going to be started out as TP's on the left-hand side. V5 are not nearby, so this will lead to Soul. And I don't know where you want to start on this one. You're going to have a replay soon.
I'm going to have a replay. It's going to be a complete mess. I don't know how I'm going to follow it or break it down.
Luck.
But, I mean, at least looking what's on the map now. Never mind, replay is just coming out right away. V5 feeling very good about this, right? No 80 carry on the opposite side. You have gap closing tools. So, again, keep your eyes on Rich here. He's looking for Yagao. He's looking for the Jace. Finds a nice 2-man knock-up. Yagao not putting himself in harm's way. But Kanavi doing a ton on the opposite side of the fight to take away the LeBlanc. I feel like this is where it gets super messy and super interesting because Yagao feeling himself flashes in. Votic, though, with the perfect arcane shift. This is what makes V5 think that they can turn this and take the fight. Sadly, though, the Jinx Rocket coming out of nowhere to lock him to just take him down, and it ends up with JDG being able to win.
A bit of a surprise. Kill goes over again to Hope, but Yagao is the one who survives and picks up yet another kill in that fight. We have some pretty big members on each side. Let's quickly just highlight 5-4 here on the Victor, 2.5 items strong. Kanavi still a threat as he found Rookie on the back of that fight. But I want to mention on the other side, we've talked about Rookie. Photic this game is very strong. 3.5 items here. He's just picked up the Serelda's Grudge. Another piece of lethality on top of that as well. People like Yagao, Hope, 369, even Kanavi going to be feeling the sting.
Yeah, it's going to be quite rough, especially, again, if we're in the extended posturing. Like, sure, JDG technically have more poke because they have 3 long-range champions as compared to just the Ezreal and LeBlanc on the opposite side.
Sure.
But you have a much better front line as Victory 5. So if it comes down to just a battle of hitting front line and war of attrition, that's why we saw the fight around Dragon. V5 were able to do so well. Again, Rich PP got just able to absorb so much. And Photic right now still hitting like an absolute truck.
They found Rich, though. Yeah, he's got no summoners. Ulti's available, but it's a big tool. Dodges away from the rocket, but the depth charge still connects. 2 ultis for JDG, but a big one when we talked about V5's Rich being a core character.
Yeah, and you're seeing JDG still playing away from where they know V5 are allocating resources. Karsa and Rookie at the time were hovering up towards top to punish Yagao, but still they have Prio. They're able to move first. If they're able to force something now, could have a bit of a 4v5 because Rich would have TP,
True.
But it looks like they don't want to overcommit because JDG, of course, controlling vision around this mid lane, and neither team having vision towards that bottom quadrant of the jungle.
Yeah, we're A-ramming for a little bit here, poking our heads in. Kanavi first. Photic is front lining, and that's why 369 able to hit an accelerated shock blast. Still a bit of damage here from the Jason, 2.5 items. Worth mentioning, though, that Rich's cooldown on his ulti isn't as long as I suspected. Almost half the way down as V5 continuing poking. I think both teams want to fight again. It's in their nature.
Yeah, and we see right now, again, just how much damage is coming out from both sides. I don't really expect anything to be able to come through without Rich's ulti available, so
Sure.
I don't really understand the extended standoff. You could have members, answering waves. Yagao's TP is going to be up soon, so maybe that's why they don't want to exactly right now.
Oh my god, Photic too far forward. Just caught out by an amazing dredge line from Missing, and without Rich's ulti, you're saying, that's done.
That's why the posturing's happening. Both teams expecting the other one to mess up.
Yep.
Photic looking for the aggressive E, gets caught out. Opens up JG for mid lane turn. They might even be able to get another one. Reset's still not coming out yet. Rookie just finishing his.
I mean, PP God's really slow here. Karsa as well. Back's only finally hitting the near nexus as JDG have opened it up. Now looking for Rookie, pushing in the mid wave. No way to JDG continue this.
No way.
Rich also has ulti as well. If Frost doesn't connect from Rookie, they want Yagao. They stop the Banshee's Veil from him.
I was terrified. I was terrified that they were going to
see it, though.
They were going to kind of run it down.
Yeah.
Set up for an opportunity for Rich, for Rookie to be able to go in. Luckily, they do back off. 1 minute until Dragon. You'd expect resets to be wanting to come out from JDG. They should have quite a bit of gold in their pockets.
Rookie aggressive on top of Kanavi. He's got a way out, though, as Missing can't interact with him mid-distortion. And so, Dragon, you're right. You were just mentioning it's a minute until we get towards the potential solve for JDG.
And, I mean, now for V5, you're the ones who get to control vision because, right, it's your window on the map. JG have to back off after making that play around mid. They don't care about setting up vision towards the Dragon. They're just going to go straight towards the Baron.
And look at where JDG are. I mean, they'll spot it out. Kanavi is the most forward member, but JDG sitting on a ward. There's a TP in the back. That's a massive flank. But the Death Rocket has helped leash.
Oh, Hope's flash gone.
369 coming through. You're right. Hope burning his summoner. Baron's down. Rookie might be dead, but we need to see how far V5 can get out before it ends. Is now going for the fight. True Shot Barrage on top of Kanavi, but he's bought so much time as Hope is free firing. Rich has already burnt the ulti, and this Jinx is untouched. V5 running to the wrong side of the map. Yagao flashes over the wall. JDG say this game, it's a turning point that needs to happen now.
Yeah, JDG still chasing these members down, but Dragon about to come up. I think JDG should just very easily pivot, pick this one up. They'll be on Soul. And, I mean, for JDG, everything going maybe not exactly as planned, but exactly how you wanted it.
That's right. Close enough. Only 2 Barons left standing. Soul will be picked up. And that run from V5 to get out of the Baron pit, that was a scared one. And I'm just surprised that this game continues to go on, but so back and forth. Gold lead still close enough worth mentioning. As we see the Baron come through in this play, I mean, it's just so close.
Yeah, and you see here Rookie finding the early flash, but 369, amazing TP comes in, able to take out Rookie right away. So instant numbers advantage. And I feel like the key thing in this fight is look at where 369 and Nagao are. They're making their way around. They're finding the flank onto key members. These members of JDG, burly enough, tanky enough, having the ability to survive the initial damage coming out without the LeBlanc's burst there to be able to take them down. The other members of JDG finally get the wraparound, able to get in, and enough damage coming out from Hope, coming out from Yagao to start setting up for these resets from the Jinx.
Fotic trying to run for his life as well. I mean, this is just a nice little cutoff. And to finish that one off, JDG, you know, now put themselves in a further gold lead despite going up against the Baron. Baron only gets 500 gold in the top right of your screen, as you can see. A minute 15 with not much to use it for. JDG are taking back the enemy jungle. They're taking back their advantage. Because remember, Lyric, this game has been about JDG. V5 have found comebacks here and there, but JDG have mostly been in control.
Yeah, still though, V5 do at least have, you know, still some Baron left, right, Rich?
Yep.
Showing that he has that one right now. I feel like the key thing though, JDG Hope, 3 items, even having the stopwatch in his pocket if Rich looks for the ulti or if Rookie finds his way on the back line. So having some of those self-peel tools, because a lot of V5 do, again, come off that initial combo. Everything after that is purely on Fotic. Okay. And we've seen JDG been pretty good about finding some of these flanks to shut him down, or Fotic has been pretty good at shutting himself down.
Yeah.
But that was just once.
I mean,
I think everyone gets one.
It's the old top esports 80 carry, right? You know, the man who got replaced by Jackulov. Remember that Fotic, you know, trained under the man, right? And when you train under Jackulov, flashing forward, stepping forward is the only thing you know. It's funny because, like, Hope is similar, right? I know Munchables has had a lot of talking about Hope versus Fotic, or at least these 80 carries have been sitting in the B League.
It's hilarious because it's the exact same story as their series where it was Hope versus Hwanfong. One trained under iBoy, one trained under Jackulov. Fotic's trained under Jackulov too, just like Hwanfong did. So, yeah, similar story, both coming in 2020. But these guys both being benched, you know, for Hope, like, after that year, after that split for Fotic, not even getting all the way through 2020 spring before he was taken out. Jackulov did come back into the roster. And I think both having a redemption on their current rosters right now. Hope being the big difference maker for JDG when he came in.
Yep.
And Fotic has been a standout on this Victory 5 roster.
He really has. With PP God, I think they've been one of the best 2v2 lanes in the LPL. I've loved watching these two throughout the split. And especially since PP God has come back to the team he started the LPL on as well. There's a lot of rich history here, and we'll be walking you through. If you are a first-time LPL viewer, we'll be making sure you're up with our 17 teams, 2 of which are right now fighting for their life here in a best-of-5 series. Now, Lyric, let's take it back to the game, because Soul is acquired. We have Elder in 3 minutes as well. For V5, that is unmissable as an event. JDG are in control. They have the map state kind of under their wing at this point with a 4K gold lead and getting towards 4 items on some of these core carries as well. It feels like for JDG, they're hitting that point you talked about earlier in the game where they are the team that have better scaling through here. The way their map interacts, I guess.
Yeah, still the last whisper coming out for Hope. Yeah, and again, you do have a pretty big front line for the side of Victory 5.
Yeah.
Shouldn't really be easily able to hit any backline members. Fotic, though, on the opposite side, I think itemizing quite well for just tons of damage coming out from your Q when JDG's comp is so squishy. So, again, both 80 carries right now being some of the biggest damage dealers. Zigao as well, though, I think has had some huge moments in these team fights.
True, he really has. And
so, it's kind of weird, right? Because we've kind of like a 2-3 threat team on this side, and for V5, it's pretty much like just Fotic. Like, sure, Rookie's there to set it up, maybe find a pick, but at the end of the day, you are relying on the Ezreal.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's been all these fights that have been about Fotic. It's Rich ultis. Wait, your gal's being caught out, but Hope's here as well. Rich is going to die for it as 1v1 comes through. Rookie now running for his life, but Hope flashes over. Crits him to death, man. We're just talking about the new Hope of JDG again.
Beautiful from him to be able to follow up. We see Yagao able to buy time with the Zanyas as well, which just allows Hope to free hit the tank. Doesn't even matter if he doesn't have the LDR at that point in time. And he's just so huge at this point, right? Easily able to take down Rookie. They pivot this into a bot lane push. I don't know how much more they should be able to get from this with Fotic being here. But hey, JDG do have engage tools if they want to pull the trigger.
Yeah, missing over the wall as well. Remember that man has flash too. As the minion wave pours on in, Hope steps up to the plate and V5 can't contest. Fotic takes a massive piece of damage. They want to end it here. Depth charge goes in the back line. Fotic hit up, but look at the searing pain that JDG are inflicting. This team, this ain't the first seed. JDG sitting as the 3rd in this elimination match. As Rich ultis in for the great stopwatch timing here. Saved out is Hope. Lyric, I'm so glad you mentioned that because the timing from Hope's gorgeous. The gameplay from JDG phenomenal. It has been bloodthirsty to say the least, but Jing Dong have come into this lower bracket, and they say that we should be back on the main stretch of road.
Great to see coming out from JDG. We saw what they wanted to do with their draft. They had these strong early lanes that also do have scaling potential. As long as early skirmishes don't really break out, or if JDG, like they did in that early Dragon fight, you have the positional setup. You're forcing V5 to run into you, like scattered, not really coordinated timings. They are able to win out. Then we got to a point where, I mean, the damage is huge. You had so many different threats on the side of JD Gaming as compared to V5, who, it's again, sure, we saw how much Rookie was able to do if he's able to find a flank or if you're able to abuse vision, but without that, it's just a Photic show.
I mean, it really was. And again, like, you know, I mean, it really should have been, I should say, because there was a part of the game where it really was. But for Victory Fire, there were slim margins in that game. There were slim moments where V5 looked quite competitive. But for the early game, Kanavi on JDG was insane. I think, again, we talked about this guy taking over in games, and the first 15 minutes definitely were about Kanavi, while Casa got an early gank in.
I mean, yeah, he tried. We saw many times him trying to find these ganks, right?
Yeah.
Bot, and they instantly pivot bot into mid. Like, I think the idea was there from Victory 5, but just JDG with some beautiful answers in terms of like when they roam missing up and answering a lot of these plays. Even the cross-mapping, once we got to mid-game, they always avoided the LeBlanc volley bear, right? They always went to the opposite side, always found plays of their own, and V5 not able to find anything with Yagao playing so safe under those side lane turrets.
That's true. You know, a couple of ganks here and there, a couple of kills here and there, but Yagao was always scaling. Yagao got into that point in the game where he became very calm and controlled. I think props come through as well to 369, who was a bit more silent in this game, but still quite solid.
Hitting the accelerated shock blasts, we saw time and time again.
A lot of damage coming out. And I think, importantly enough, 369 has always been that anchor, that real solid part of JDG in many different ways. He's quite versatile himself, we know, with Champion Pool and, you know, player alike. And it was good to see that 369 was playing as 369 here in this game. An important part for JDG.
I do feel like, again, we've highlighted Hope and 369 mostly, but I feel like Yagao and Kanavi really were the big ones in my book who did this. I feel like Yagao played so many of those fights just so well. Again, the placement of his W to either force out flashes, force out arcane ships, set up for a lot of these plays to come through. The stopwatch or Zanya's timings coming out, set up for teammates to be able to follow up. Just huge amounts of damage throughout all these team fights. He already hit on Kanavi's early impact. So when we think of V5 as the team that has been the mid-jungle team this year, it's really nice to see JDG not even draft for mid-jungle, right? Victor Viego, not some insane combo. They didn't play it like that, but those were the two who did step up in this game.
Yeah, I mean, again, we didn't see much in the ways of mid 2v2. Yagao left by himself, but the game's still looking great, and you can see, again, what we're talking about. The control of JDG in the majority of this game was on their side. Like, Gold League tells, I think, a pretty good story for once in the LPL.
Yeah, of course. And again, we're seeing here in the damage, the 3-threat comp coming from JDG versus just the 1 threat of Photic on the opposite side. And, you know, he did his best. Like we saw some good damage coming out. We saw one team fight that was beautiful, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough to take down the side of JDG. Let's remember, though, both of these teams did start 2-0 up in their previous series, and they weren't able to close them out. So we're not going to count out V5 after one loss, but it is nice to see JDG coming out once again with, I'd say, a really nice draft and just overall, like, really nice execution of how to play out this game.
So maybe V5 actually did win this game.